for their lives, for their children, for their right to live on their land with our families, our children, and in safety in our homes. This is all we want. Is it too much to ask for any nation? Dear friends, thank you for invitation. Dear Italy, Putin is seeking out the world's worst regimes to find more missiles so he can continue killing Ukrainian children. We are searching for where to get air defense system to defend ourselves. Russia is using ballistic missiles from Pyongyang, attack drones from Tehran, and vast amounts of money from Siberian oil to drag out this war as much as possible and deprive our country of life. But we are building each day shelters for schools and even underground schools so that Ukrainian children can study in safety despite everything. And we are relocating Ukrainian enterprises so the economy can keep functioning, and we are setting up underground weapons production facilities so Ukrainian soldiers can defend themselves even when supplies from our partners are delayed. We have developed our own new drones and missiles, and we are gradually bringing this war back to Russia so that Putin will eventually feel the pressure to seek only one thing: peace. And I truly appreciate that Italy is doing everything with us to implement the peace formula, all its points that are essential for peace in Ukraine to be the same kind of peace enjoyed by all those countries that already have it. Ukraine is not asking for anything more than what your country or any other country already has. We just want no father in our country to have to bury his wife and daughters because they were killed by Russian missiles. We just want Ukrainian boys, Ukrainian girls to never again suffer because they cannot help their parents who are in Russian occupied territories. We just want the heritage of generations of Ukrainians not to be destroyed under Russian bombs. Ukraine deserves to be safe, and we will definitely gain security for our independence and for all our people, all our lovely children. Here on the sidelines of the forum, I will meet with the head of the Italian government, Giorgia Meloni, and I'm also preparing to meet with representatives of Italian business, and I'm confident that together we will be able to achieve very important things to protect life in Ukraine, to strengthen both of our countries, Ukraine and Italy, and to rebuild Ukraine after the war. We are preparing for a conference in Italy next year focused on Ukraine's reconstruction, and I really want your companies, your business, best ideas to work with us together with the Ukrainian companies and Ukrainian ideas. We can give more strength, economic and social growth to our nations. And I'm confident that together we will achieve this. I thank everyone who helps us, who helps and supports Ukraine, and I'm proud of our people. Ukraine will stand, and I invite all of you to stand with us, with Ukraine, and to protect what makes people human. Thank you for the invitation again. Thank you for your attention. Grazie mille. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is how the room is welcoming you, Mr. President. Let me just ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah,
Then we
I'm ready.
move to the translation for the Italian
I wanted very
questions
much
afterward.
I wanted very much to answer in my native language in Ukrainian, but I'm not sure that it works well or it works.
Maybe we can do that. I ask the questions in English, you answer in Ukrainian. I don't know if everybody
You know
is...
Ukrainian?
No way,
Yeah,
that's the point.
Maybe I understood that you will translate from Ukrainian.
Exactly, that's too complicated to me.
Can it?
I don't know. Let's see if it works.
No, it's not about the channel. It doesn't. No. See? Can you change for me?
Just 1 second that we
Yes,
double
if
check if it works, because it's going to be... Yeah, it happens.
It's understandable. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Is it
No.
working now?
No, nothing changed. But I'm thankful that you tried.
Okay. Hopefully we will manage
It's okay, we'll speak English.
Okay, I'll start with the first
I don't
question.
know Italian, sorry.
We have this problem. I don't know Ukrainian, you don't know Italian, but I think that
What will
English
do?
would do.
Okay.
Okay. But the very first question is about the fact that just a few hours ago here,
Yeah.
this exact place, there was the Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani, and again he restated how Ukraine has the full support of our country on all the aspects, but with the exception of the long-range weapons, because he doesn't want to take the risk. He said, okay, that's way too much. And he doesn't want to take the risk of one day seeing an attack on Moscow or something like that. So since you told us very clearly which are the risks you're living on a daily basis, where is the limit? What are you asking exactly?
Where the limit, I think this is question to Putin, where the limit. And I think that he will never come until he will destroy all our nation. Of course, because of big support of the United States, European friends, including Italy, as I said, now, of course, we will prevail. And we didn't give him this possibility. He wanted very much at the very beginning of full-scale war. He wanted very much to destroy us and occupy totally us, 100%. You remember, during 3-4 days. Now the war is long, and we really want peace. Okay, thanks so much. But I think that audience likes my English.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sorry.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. Okay, I will have some practice more. So that's that. So the question is about limits. He doesn't have any limits. You see that he's killing. I mean, he's killing civilians. So it's not the rules of the war. So we don't remember such last. I think 80 years. We don't remember this in Europe, in the world. He deported 20,000 children. He deported 20,000 children from occupied territories to Moscow, to Russia, somewhere, I don't know. So what about limits? I think this is the question to him. About long distance, which is very important. Thanks for support, Prime Minister, and of course, Minister Tajani. We have good relations with him, and we are on contact. We had a lot of dialogue, and we're thankful, as I said, for some air defense system which you had. It's together with France, and so thank you for this. It helped to save those children who are not deported, who are in Ukraine. So thank you so much. But there are some mistakes when we speak that, for example, Italy or somebody else, doesn't matter, afraid that we will attack Kremlin. It's a pity we can't. Because those long distance weapons, what you had or some partners, it's about 200 kilometers. So it's less than those distance. What about Tajani spoke? So, but your production have to try to do their best. But you have to understand, it's a joke, yes, but it's very serious, really serious. 4,000 bombs each month Russia uses on the territory of east of our country. 4,000 bombs. You can't destroy it, this position. You don't have key to this problem. They are not stopping, and they will not stop. And they destroy so many cities and villages, 4,000 per month. How they use it? They use it by jets. Jets are situated on the military airfields, on the distance from our country, from our borders, on the distance 100, 150, 300 kilometers. What we want, how to use this long distance weapon? Just on military airfields, just to use this weapon, which can work with 100 and 300 kilometers. That's all. That's all. No other ideas. This is about, when we speak about their energy system, they destroyed, we had blackouts, you know, sure. Yes, all of this. So when we speak about 1,000 or 1,000 an hour, we use our drone production. But it's, again, not about targeting civilians. They are our enemies. They are really our enemies because they support the policy of Putin. But we never attack their civilian infrastructure. And also, so that's about long distance.
That's very clear. Thank you so much for your answer. And by the way, everybody got a little bit nervous when you decided the Kursk move. Nobody knew that. Nobody was
except
aware
Putin,
of it.
you see?
You're telling me something. No, but tell us, when did you decide it? With whom, if I may ask?
Yeah, please.
Because that was totally by surprise to anybody, even in your country.
We didn't have surprise. We've got just real clear information from Ukrainian intelligence and also from intelligence of our partners, including United States and UK and EU partners. we've got information that after our place, Kharkiv, Putin tried to occupy it last 2 months, some months ago, he tried to occupy our city, Kharkiv. That's what I said about these thousands of bombs. So firstly, how they do, they attack by guided aerial bombs, then destroy everything, then occupy it. That is their tactics. So
you need your microphone close.
Okay. Yeah. So they try to occupy this city, but you have to understand what does it mean, this city, and how they are bombing. This is 1,500,000. This is big city, and when you see the thousands bombs are on the city, you have to understand that it's about dozens of schools. So they wanted to destroy everything. They couldn't occupy the city, and they decided to make another step. What information we got from intelligence, that the next step will be on the north of our country. The city with the name of Sumy. Yes, it's on the north of the country. It's oppositely Kursk region in Russia. So we had to be quick. We couldn't lose families. We couldn't lose this big city. It's a big region and about hundreds, thousands of people, houses, schools, universities, everything. They attacked the biggest university in this region. So they did a lot of things before. So we had this information, and I decided with my chief commander, we decided, yes, we have to do it quicker. And nobody has to know. It's not because we don't respect or not. It's not about it. Because Russia is everywhere with their intelligence. Everywhere. That's why we had to use very careful this information, very confidential, and we had success. And that's why we defended this region. All this region we defended with this operation.
Thank you very much, President. I'm going to open to the floor, but let me just ask you this very last question. When will be the day or the moment in which you decide to sit and start negotiations? What will be the reason that makes you go to the table?
Just answering on this question, just one step back. Can you understand any leader if there are some troops on your territory, like in Kursk? You don't move your troops from another country. You continue occupying east of other country and don't save your people. What can you say about this man, about leader? It was very important with this operation to open eyes to other countries, some leaders, analytics, to understand the real reason of Putin, really to destroy us totally. So he didn't bring all these forces to save these people, to save his children, which have been on this territory. Our soldiers gave them corridor. Our soldiers gave them water, food, everything. Didn't kill. Can you imagine? It's a big operation. 1,300 square kilometers. We controlled 100 villages, including cities. 100. Nobody was killed from civilians. But for him, doesn't matter. He continued occupied and attack our villages and kill our people. So That is the answer. His real mission, his decision, and what is in his ill mind. And when you say that, what have to be for this? I mean, for this dialogue. So first of all, he's a killer, and we have, based on UN Charter, on rules with other partners. Otherwise, so nobody respect and nobody. I mean. Everybody understands that he is a liar, and his word, the price of his word is zero. That's why it's not about just negotiation. It's about rules, about, and we have to work on it. But what's important? Ukraine has to be very strong for any negotiations. Otherwise, we will lose our nation and our people. First of all, people, then territories. It's war. It's war for the people, for freedom, for democracy, for our values. We have to be strong. For this, we need a plan. For this, we need the support of our partners. I will bring to the United States, and I will share with President Biden, and then with other partners, G7 plus our close partners, the plan, how we see it. What can make pressure on Putin to sit and stop the war? Because all these plans about only one thing, what we have to do together to push Putin, make peace, because he doesn't want. That is the most important. He doesn't want. He has to be weaker. Ukraine has to be stronger with all the world. Yeah.
Very clear. Thank you so much. Let me open to the floor. We have a bunch of people here asking for questions. So the first two questions, one is from Sonia Bonfiglioli.
Thank you so much, President Zelensky, to be here. It's a really big emotion to have this moment. I think we have to think positive, and we have to believe that we will reach a good peace for Ukrainian people. So thinking to that moment, what is your vision of what will have the role of Ukraine in the post-war situation? And thinking back to what's been the Minsk agreement, the failure of a Minsk agreement, what do you think could be the challenge and, how do you say, the topics that has to be faced and solved for Ukraine and also for Europe to reach a stable peace?
Thank you, President. Let's take a couple of questions and then you answer.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. Alessandro La Volpe.
Here I am. Mr. President, thank you. Big thank you. My question would be on the reconstruction of Ukraine. When you think about the rebuilding phase, which role you would envision for technology to help your country? Thank you.
Maybe we take all of them.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Emanuela Trentin.
Good evening, Mr. President. My question is, you listed us a shocking and huge list of damages that Ukraine is suffering. So what role of foreign investor in the reconstruction and in recovering the damages you're suffering for your countries? And what are the sectors in case that you consider key in this context?
Thank you. And the last question, is from Riccardo Illy.
Thank you, Mr. President, for what you are doing for your people, but in my opinion also for the whole European territory. So I really admire what you are doing, your strength and your courage in defending the life of your people and their freedom. My question is, what can Europe learn from what is occurring in Ukraine in these days?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Doris, one second.
Yeah,
So
take your time.
very many questions to answer quicker.
Exactly.
If you can use the phone, so I will answer in Ukrainian.
Okay.
If it's possible, yeah.
So let's give everybody just 1 second to. Okay.
Можно?
Can I? Thank you so much. The first question was regarding the post-war Ukraine. How should it look like and where it should be, and what is the difference of our idea and our vision and Minsk? Because Minsk failed, if I understood your question correctly. So, first and foremost, Ukraine is a part of a future security infrastructure, I believe, for the world. First and foremost for Europe, because we are on this continent, and on the security of Europe depends the security in all the world. Therefore, Ukraine should be a part of this security alliance, economically and security, from the point of view of security, energy, technology, etc. And food, because this is very important, as we have seen this during the war. So Ukraine should be an equal part of the European family, of the European Union, but also of the alliance, security alliance, NATO. What does it give us? That it prevents the possibility of Russia's aggression or aggression of anybody else. We do not know what is happening. We prevent it from turning back to Ukraine. This is very important for Ukrainian people. This is important for all the neighbors. You see what crisis the war has brought to Ukraine. And then this crisis, it spreads to the world, to Europe and the world. And one of the examples is the blockade of the sea of our naval trade routes. It resulted in the stoppage of food supplies. The blockade of the food supplies, and this spreads not only to Europe now it spreads to Asia, provokes hunger in Africa. So Putin has brought this danger to many countries in the world. We cannot say that this is a war only in Ukraine. War territorially is in Ukraine, but the whole world has suffered, not because of Ukraine, once again, because Ukraine is defending the values, and in this situation it is defending the Europe and the whole world. That is why I believe that this will be the component of these security alliances. That is very important. That is the first thing. How does it differ from Minsk? Minsk was simply a trap. And unfortunately, when Europe supported this trap of Russia, Minsk is the worst part, the worst thing that can be, and we can never come back to this. That is the frozen conflict. That is the pause that gives Russia the possibility, Russia, an aggressor Russia, to prepare what it was doing. The frozen conflict. Ukraine, it meant that Ukraine was in the grain zone, not only for its own people, but also for the investor who will invest money in Ukraine. Even though Ukraine is a rich land, nobody will invest money because they do not understand what will be in the future with Ukraine, because there was no 100% support to Ukraine, and there was no understanding about what would happen in Russia. Russia has occupied part of the territories to create a frozen conflict. Then it was developing its military industry and preparing for the invasion. If Ukraine chooses its own path of independence, path to Europe, path to the EU, what did Ukraine choose? It chose this. What danger is in this for Russia? I will tell you. Russia does not have the economy. They are plundering the richest economy. They are plundering their economy. The oil, the resources they're getting. That is not an economy. You just take it from the land, you sell it, and you have poor people, but you take all these revenues and you invest into weaponry, and then you create militarized society that is in information vacuum, that suddenly believes that in Ukraine something radical is happening, that suddenly starts to simply repeat Hitler's path. Absolutely, and that is an absolute truth. That is why Minsk cannot be compared with real security guarantees for Ukraine, because Minsk is a frozen conflict, and that is why it was difficult to implement for everybody. Difficult for everybody because nobody was willing to do that. I tried to do what I had to do as a president. I arrived to the Normandy format. We had a meeting in Germany, France, Russia, Ukraine, and I talked to him. And we have agreed about ceasefire. Now many people are talking about ceasefire. I have gone through a couple of ceasefires with Putin. We have agreed on ceasefire. And in some time they have started to kill us on the contact line. I called him and I said, we have agreed about ceasefire. He said, yes, we'll solve this. In some time, again they started to kill us. They were preparing. So no more frozen conflict. As regards the reconstruction, that is the second question. That there will be no real reconstruction for Ukraine if there is no real security. European Union and NATO are important security components for reconstruction of Ukraine, because the investors will come, but we understand that investor must believe and trust to think that, so that he thinks that yes, he helps Ukraine at the beginnings, but in the future his capital is protected, and that is important. And you are saying about technologies here. The technologies are very important for us. I'll tell you that today, because of the technologies we have withstood everything, we have survived. We built our own navy. We could not build the fleet because the ships are being built for a very long time period. But we have built a fleet of the sea drones, and they have fulfilled a very important mission, and they have pushed out the Russia's Black Sea fleet from the Black Sea. And this drone fleet ensure the functioning of the grain corridor, and then ensure the function of the export corridor for the metallurgy, for other goods, which is very important for us, and that is also technologies. Demining, for us it is very important, as many of our lands, hundreds of thousands of hectares are mined by Russia. And demining is also about technologies. Much of the fight against cyber threats posed by Russia, there were thousands of cyber attacks on us, but we have reached the necessary level, and I believe that we can share this knowledge with you, with partners. I think that this will be very important. As regards the role of reconstruction, the role is very simple. To build a real nation, we need people, because the state is first and foremost the people. And reconstruction is first and foremost your companies, and we're inviting them together with our companies. And for us, it is also working. It's also jobs. Without jobs, we will not be able to bring back Ukrainians. That is 7.5 million Ukrainians who are now abroad in various countries: Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, Italy, Spain. We need these people. We need their hands. We need their heads. As regards the key sectors you have asked, that is energy. War has taught us and partners on what energy grid should look like. It must be decentralized, and this is what we want to have after the war. We're connected to the European energy grid, and if it wasn't for Russia's attacks, we would have profited of energy, because our atomic energy is working very efficiently, and it has very good pricing, and I think it could help Europe, and it could decrease the prices on energy. We are also paying attention to technologies, digitalization, medicine, rehabilitation. This war unfortunately has brought many crises and many deaths, but it has also brought experience, and we will share this experience with all the countries who have helped us in times of war, and this is a just way to do. The last thing regarding Europe, what Europe can learn, I think the most important thing is that Europe has united, and I think that Ukraine has played its role at the moment when Europe had to be united. United Europe is a powerful continent that economically is much stronger than many others. And Russia has always achieved divided Europe via threats, via energy blackmail. Divided Europe is not capable of fighting against Russia. I'm talking not about war. Economic war is also dangerous, with price dumpings, with instrumentalizing prices on gas, on oil. But united Europe is much more stronger and much more attractive for everybody, not only for countries that are in Europe neighborhood, but also for Asia, for Africa, for many countries.
Very much, Mr. President. Thanks also because you took us exactly where we started this morning. We were talking about the unity of Europe, and you took us back there. Thank you so very much. I think this
Thank you so much.
will take you back to Ukraine, and we hope next year you will be back just talking about investment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's the first time, and this was perfect. Thanks for helping me with that. Thank you. Grazie e a domani.